Good morning, everybody. Wake up in Provincetown. This week featuring Can I have some coffee? Make it strong, please. Hey, no. Hey, no. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, February 18th, 2022. You had a hard time doing that while I was gone.
The date is hard. Well, it's like you just always do it every day, and then I'd be like, oh my god, what's the date? As soon as we open. Welcome back, Bob.
Thank you so much. You guys, it is so nice to be home. I was gonna try to do this little joke about oh, I have to wear these sunglasses because I just came from Hawaii, but I did forget my glasses. So I have to wear these sunglasses.
Great. You're looking very summery.
Thank you.
Very
I
Hawaii.
feel very summery. Aloha, mahalo.
Is it good to be back?
It was so nice to be away.
Yeah.
I mean,
You've been gone for almost a month. This is your first show in the tap room of PBC for over a month.
I know. We had that Palm Springs episode. We had the two. I do want to give a very, very deep felt mahalo to Kristen Becker and Carmen De Silva for filling in while I was gone. We did get to watch them. I sent you a video of us watching it, right?
Yeah.
It was super cute.
They did such a good job.
They did do such a good job, and now those were our first two guest co-hosts.
Yeah, and they did great.
They did.
It is nice to know that we have a plethora of incredibly talented, charming people in town to fill our shoes if we want to go to Hawaii.
Absolutely. Or Palm Springs, where I'm going in March.
Oh, maybe I'll go too.
You should just come too. But come back, because you know what? I got a lot of feedback about the Palm Springs episode.
People liked it.
People did like it.
It was cute.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I was so stressed the whole time because I was so worried about the sound. I had a panic dream the night before because we didn't have the tech we really needed, but it worked out okay.
No, I love that. It was so fun to finally meet Bill and get a townie bagel where they're made.
It didn't quite dawn on me, but I actually knew Bill already.
You did?
What I lived in Palm Springs for a couple winters when I used to not spend my winters here in Provincetown, and I worked at Black Book, which is my favorite spot in Palm Springs, and he used to come in all the time. And finally connected. And I remember him coming in, and he would always talk to the owner Dean about making supplying the bread. And he does. He supplies the bread for that place. Yeah.
If you missed our Townie Bagel episode, we were in Palm Springs together a few weeks ago, and Bill and Andy are big fans of the show, and they listen to it while they're getting ready for work because it's 6 o'clock there right now.
Damn.
I know. And we were like, well, we're not going to do the show at 6.
No.
We're going to do it at 9. And people here liked that it was on at 12.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. Maybe that's why so many people watched that episode, because it was on at 12.
That is why.
Probably.
Maybe should we wake up at noon from now on, Jonathan?
Yes.
Or 10 at
Really?
least.
But then we would have to go right to work.
I
after
wouldn't.
The show. Oh, that's right. Oh, you're going to be off on Fridays again this
Who
year?
knows? Who knows?
I know.
Do you? Did you decide when I'm working?
Well, I mean, we can have that discussion.
Yeah. But I had
Do you want to be off on Fridays?
I don't
again?
know. We'll talk about it later.
Think about it now.
But I did love the chive cream cheese at Townie Bagels.
Oh, yeah.
It was to die.
I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Hawaii was honestly, people say a lot about oh, if you go to the island of Kauai, it will be the most beautiful place you ever see. Everything anyone has ever said about it is true, and then some. We also went to the Big Island for a week, and I was gonna do a little highlight reel of my Hawaii trip as a little pre-recorded segment for the show. And as a joke, I said to Trevor, I was like, don't worry, I've got the honeymoon video down to 43 minutes. I got it down to about 17. So this is gonna sound so self-indulgent, you guys, and I am sorry, but our names are on the show. So we have two. This week, I'm going to show you a little video of how our time on the Big Island went, the first week that we were there.
Okay.
And next week, there will be a little Kauai video.
Cute.
So I just want to just keep stretching this honeymoon out forever and ever. It's so nice.
so
We had
cute.
such a nice time. And you know, Peter lived on Maui for a year and a
Oh,
half.
yeah.
And it was the kind of like work living experience that changed his life forever.
Mhm.
Where like, you know, you can take the boy off the island, but you can't take the island out of the boy. And if you've ever looked at him and thought, is he stoned? No, it's just he lived on Hawaii for a year.
I was gonna say, is that why he's like so chill all the
And
time?
he's stoned.
Right?
No, it's both of it. But it's like he stopped wearing a watch when he lived there and has never worn one since. And it's just like
Cute.
Hawaii.
I love that.
And like,
Was he like showing you a lot of stuff like oh, I used to do this, I used to do that, or
well, no, the first time
or were
went,
you like not on that island?
we went to Hawaii together in 2009, and we went to Maui then. And he was like, I used to live here. I opened this hotel. So that trip was very that. This was 2 different islands, and he himself had only been to Kauai for like 2 days or something ever.
So it was like kind of new to him.
So
as well.
everything that he was doing was like, I've never been to this beach, I've never done that. So it was a lot of new stuff for him too, which was
that's
really
awesome.
nice. And I have to say, so one of the nicest parts of the trips on the Big Island half was our friends Scott and Eric,
Oh yeah.
who have a place here, but they also own 3 restaurants on the Big Island and a restaurant on Kauai. So everywhere that we went, they were like, make sure you go to one of our places.
Were
And-
they phenomenal?
Oh my god. Like they're in this video. And well, this hat is from the Lava Lava Beach Club, which is one of their
Cute.
locations. Are you telling me to take it off? What's that face? Oh. So this hat is for Mark now. they sent you a hat. Oops, spoiler alert. There's presents for Harry from Scott and Eric.
Oh, thanks,
Show
boys.
everybody.
Okay. Oh my god, it's a hat! Oh my god, my favorite color.
Isn't that your favorite color?
Lava Lava Beach Club, so cute.
Big Island and Kauai.
Oh my god, so cute. So there's one on each island?
Mhm.
That's so cute. Oh my god, adorable.
And every single place of theirs sits like on an ocean bluff area where,
So cute.
isn't it?
Oh my god, thanks, boys.
And they were like, what size do you think Harrison is? Here, send him this one because it'll be nice and tight.
Well, especially now. It's been a long winter.
So everybody sends their love from Hawaii.
Aw, yay.
Our co-workers at the Red Inn, Rachel and Lana, are there working for the winter at 2 different islands or 2 different restaurants next door to each other.
Everyone was saying, like, I love how they went to Hawaii for their honeymoon and just like hanging out with the Red Inn staff.
It was crazy because Johnny's there for 2 months, I think.
Good for him.
I know.
I know, I'm watching his Instagram stories, it's like wild.
It's like I found this amazing, incredible apartment on Oahu near Waikiki Beach, which is perfect for someone like him. You know, he's
Is that like Party Beach?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like New York City, but on a beach. Like
Oh, cute.
when you're flying over it, it's so lit up. It looks like any other city on earth.
Oh, awesome. Is he okay?
Johnny?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He had something happen to him.
He's only not okay in the ways that he's always not okay.
Oh, okay.
But like, wait, what happened?
He got mugged?
Recently?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
you didn't hear? It was on his
no.
Instagram story. I don't know any of the details. I was hoping you did, but he's okay.
Oh no.
But I heard he got mugged.
We didn't go to Oahu.
We'll get the details for you next week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if it's true, but nobody gets mugged on Kauai. Go to
Oh my
Kauai.
God.
No, it's not overdeveloped.
Yeah.
It's super. Everything is spread out. It's like height of the tourist season, and almost no one's there. Like in most of the beach videos that I put on the Kauai video, it's just Peter and me for stretches.
Gorgeous.
And the only other people you encounter are 2 like old hippie surfer dudes who are just like, what's up? Like it was just that over and over and over with the most amazing fish that you can get anywhere. Like if I don't have another poke bowl ever again.
The
in my
most
life,
amazing fish you can get anywhere, you're saying that as you're on Cape Cod.
Well,
Oh.
this is what it was. I had this fantastic like ahi tuna poke bowl, like huge chunks, fresh fish. You can tell that somebody just caught it a couple days ago for like $16. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, this would be $48 in Provincetown. I'm like, I don't even know how they're able to do this.
Right.
So
Sounds great.
It was, yeah.
The funny thing is, my sister was also in Hawaii while you were there. I like my fingers were crossed. You guys were just gonna run into each other.
I wish. That would have been amazing.
That would have been fun.
Maybe she was one of the beautiful girls that I passed on a beach. from,
Probably.
Like afar.
Probably. She posted nothing but the food she ate on her Instagram, so I only know that she ate a lot of shrimp.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was more about the fresh fish. Oh my god. But it is actually really nice to be back. Where I have to tell you, if you're a clammer, you're not doing it this weekend. Low tide is tonight at 6:28 p.m.
Oh, I thought you were looking at the wrong.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong website earlier. But that means it's going to be too late on Sunday as well.
Ooh.
But next weekend.
But can't
we
you
ought
go
to be
at
back.
like 8 a.m. on Sunday then? Isn't that when low tide would be then?
Don't make me look it up.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I didn't go clamming, but I think it was Friday. Me and Sunny walked the entire breakwater.
Mhm.
Sunny had never done it. I only done it once before. We walked the entire breakwater, so we like watched all the people clam. And I think this might have been a bad idea, but I had Brewski, and we brought him along. Is that bad to bring a dog in the breakwater?
I don't
No.
think
Okay,
so.
great. There was a moment. He was on a leash, and there was a moment where he like jumped across like a little gap and like didn't have enough, like, and he learned quickly like, oh, I can't do that. But he was great on it.
You kept him on the leash the whole time that you were on top
Yeah,
of the
I was
breakwater.
worried about him jumping down and me not being able to go get him, or him like running around in the clamming field, and it just wouldn't have been cute.
The clamming field.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
The flats, I think.
Yeah.
The clamming field.
But it was great. Yeah.
Wait, who do we have on our show today? Tell everybody what a great show we have.
We do have a really great show. We have Stephan Hengst and also Trevor Pittinger coming in. They're the new leadership team at the Provincetown Business Guild. They're just gonna come in so you can meet them and talk about what they've got planned and
New
stuff.
blood.
Yeah.
This is exciting for the PBG, which
Yeah.
means it's exciting for us.
I think Bob Sanborn was doing like a 6-month fill-in, and 4 years later, finally got a replacement.
Thank you one more time to
Yeah.
Bob Sanborn for everything that he did. I'm really excited to hear what these guys have in mind, what they have planned for
Mhm.
us.
Yeah, I just met Stephen, but I've known Trevor for quite some time, and I'm super excited to see what he does because he's so talented with everything he does with us here at Wake Up, at the brewery, other stuff.
Other stuff
Yeah.
and the rest.
Yeah.
What happened while I was gone? There's a lot of things happening like in the world. First of all,
My favorite thing that happened this week in Provincetown,
tell me right now.
the mask mandate got lifted.
It did?
Yeah. You didn't know
When?
that?
No.
Tuesday at 5.
I went into the grocery store last night and had a mask on.
I've been to the grocery store a few times since the mask mandate got lifted on Tuesday, and generally everyone's wearing a mask, and I kind of do think that is good. I'm going to continue wearing masks in spaces that I feel everyone has the right to feel safe in. You know what I mean? Like the supermarket, the bank, the post office, spaces that should be available to anyone regardless of their fear of COVID. You know what I mean? Like the people who are afraid and want to be around people in masks aren't going to a house on a Saturday night.
Right.
So I want to allow the space for them to feel safe. And I think people should continue wearing masks at the supermarket until people are feeling more comfortable.
Even the bank lifted it.
I went to the bank yesterday and they still had a sign up saying that they had a policy that for masks, but their tellers weren't wearing masks.
Huh.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I wore a mask.
No, I'm glad to hear that because we weren't sure and we were hoping that it had been lifted.
Yeah, New York State lifted theirs. Boston hasn't yet, but a lot of towns around Boston have, and I think it's probably coming soon for Boston. California, I want to say, lifted theirs as well, so I think it's about time. I think right now, or at least when the article in the Provincetown Independent went to press, there were no active cases in Provincetown, and that's the first time there's been no active cases in our town since pre-Delta.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's seemingly going well. I think Omicron, it ripped through South Africa, and that was like the first place it was discovered. So it like everyone got it in South Africa, and it went away just as fast. And I was hoping that was going to be the same for Provincetown and America, and I think it definitely was.
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone had it. You were either a Christmas COVID or a New Year's COVID. I was a Christmas COVID, and then I think not that it's good, but like now that it's behind us, it's good to know that like people who were exposed, I didn't hear of any deaths or serious illness. People who were exposed will now have that little extra added bit of protection.
everybody that we ran into on our trip was like, oh, we heard what happened to P-Town last summer. I'm like, yeah, the whole world heard.
Yeah.
Because we invented Delta during Bear Week, if you don't know, and got it over with, but like had to have our mask mandate reintroduced in early August of last summer. So we had this great, wild, like back to normal, like record-breaking numbers summer from Go right up until the first week of August. And then it really only dipped a little. I mean, if we're being honest.
And in retrospect, I was mad about it all. Very vocal about it. But in retrospect, could you imagine if it stayed that busy through the whole season? We would have gone crazy.
I know, we would have gone crazy.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is like as soon as the mask mandate got lifted, we were allowed to be in clubs again. I was going out every single night, at a house every night, and then the restriction happened, and then it kind of opened back up again, and I like never went out again.
Right.
Like I had just met my friend Sonny, and he was like, "Oh my god!" He was telling me recently, he's like, "It was weird. When I first met you, I'm like, oh my god, I found this new friend who's wild and crazy, and he goes out all the time." And he's like, "Well," and that was very short-lived.
Yeah, that's not really you.
Yeah,
but it will be this year.
Well, actually, Saturday night, I went to a house and made it all the way to close, and me, Joao, and Sonny actually took a picture because they were so impressed that I made it to close at a house.
Do we have that to show to everybody?
No,
come on, next week.
Right.
I want to see that. I want to see it.
It's the three of us looking extremely sloppy outside the A house at 1:30 in the morning.
Don't you miss those days?
Yeah, it was tons of fun. It was amazing. Saturday night as a whole was incredible. Last weekend was so much fun. There was so much stuff going on for Valentine's Day weekend.
How did the concert go?
It went so well. But Friday night I came here for the Rainbow Connection party with Andrew Haig, and it was so cool. Andrew Haig was spinning, he was DJing, and then Mike Flanagan came and played live saxophone along with him DJing.
What?
They even did Careless Whisper with Todd Alsep on the vocals.
Stop.
It was fun.
Oh, there's a video of that, isn't there?
No.
Why didn't you guys record anything while I was gone?
Trevor probably did.
We're lost without you.
I know.
You weren't here either.
I'm just that person who was always like, oh, I should have taken a video of that. Oh, I should have taken a picture of that. I'm just never that person who like takes up their phone to record things.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I'm just here for it and loving it.
I know, but
But
you host a
I know.
show.
Fine.
Just record once in a while. Just like 30 seconds of this would be amazing. That's all it
Yeah.
takes, you know. But it takes 7 minutes of Hawaii.
Yeah. And
Not 30 seconds.
and then Todd Alsep was at the dive bar playing piano. After that, the wave bar was open, and then Saturday was so much fun. You were at the New Year's Eve concert, and you remember like the vibe backstage, how fun it was? It was just that again.
I love that.
Yeah, I love the big variety shows that John Hawkins and the Crown put on because it's very much like it's just like everyone in town who performs like all like hanging backstage, and that's where you should sell like 2 VIP $500 tickets to like hang backstage with all of us.
It is the most
I feel like that
fun
would
place
sell.
to be during a show like that, honestly.
Yeah.
As much fun as everybody out. in the
Yeah, we
front
could
is
like
having.
donate it to the PBG.
What a good idea. Did Trevor just whisper that into your
I'm just trying to please
in your
everyone
monitor.
standing behind the camera right now. Yeah. But the concert was, again, so incredible. Grace Carney, Brittany Ross was there this time. She wasn't there for the New Year's, but besides that, I feel like it was pretty much the same crowd as the New Year's concert. And it was so great.
What's planned for this weekend, Jonathan? What's going on?
The Crown this weekend, I think the Vault's going to be open Friday, Saturday night. I think the Wave Bar is going to be open tonight. The Provincetown Brewing Co is closed for a couple weeks, so they're moving the RuPaul's Drag Race viewing party over to the Crown while PBC is closed. That's hosted by Austin and Mackenzie. That's going to be tonight at 8 o'clock. And then they're keeping the Wave Bar open after that for a little bit while Andrew Haig DJs. The restaurant's open tonight and tomorrow for dinner, and also tomorrow for lunch. And John Richardson is in the dive bar tomorrow night.
Is Mike Flanagan at the club this weekend?
I don't know. I don't think the club's open.
She's at Tin
Tin Pan.
Tin Pan's back to open. They closed for like a week or something. Tin Pan.
Oh, they're open.
They're opening it. Okay.
Did I get everything, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Trampolina hosting a RuPaul Drag Race?
I
viewing?
think she hosts at Pilgrim
Pilgrim
House.
House?
Yeah.
So you guys, it's the middle of February. There's still more to do than ever before this time of year.
Everything I've gone out to this past week has had such a great vibe. So many people. Joao sang at Tin Pan on Wednesday night with Mike Flanagan and also Christian, the drummer, and it was so much fun. Joao did a full set. Mike and Joao let me get up and sing a few songs, and then towards the end, everyone kind of came in, and then like Mackenzie got up and sang. Eric Mall came in with his flute. He did Somewhere from West Side Story. It was so fun. It was just another one of those like magical P-Town nights.
You did see West Side Story, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Are you? I talked about it last week, but I haven't talked to you about it, about the Oscar nominations. What do you think? Was Lady Gaga snubbed?
I didn't see House of Gucci,
Okay.
but the only review of House of Gucci that I actually read was Tom Ford's personal review of it.
What did he have to say about it?
He was just like, I laughed at times when I know I shouldn't have been laughing. And he's like, I'm viewing this through a different lens than everybody else because I know everyone involved. And he goes, you know, parts of it were so campy that I'm like, this was a really serious thing and people got hurt and it shouldn't be funny at all.
Oh, like it was like over the top and campy.
For him. And I mean, apparently, it seems like a lot of the Academy voters agreed because they didn't nominate any of the actors for any of their performances. But speaking of awards season, for the 2 weeks that I was gone, Murray was on Ellen, Murray was on Kimmel, I think, one of the late night guys. And I just love this publicity blitz that he's doing. Like when the actors like out doing their like red carpet promotion for their awards season thing. I'm more excited about the SAG Awards than I am about the Oscars this year.
Yeah.
Obviously. Because that Best Actor in a Limited Series race it's Murray against Ewan McGregor for playing Halston.
Right.
Against 3 other equally fabulous actors. And I'm like, he has a shot. Like,
That's incredible.
I'm not hosting an Oscar party this year, I'm hosting a SAG party.
Cute.
And if we're all gonna be screaming,
Yeah.
like the house is gonna explode off the ground if Murray wins.
I mean, all these nominations are so deserved.
Yes,
And I love that
absolutely.
he's obviously been in the public eye, and we've been big fans of him for quite some time, but I'm so excited to see his star shine even brighter.
Me too. It's just like when good things happen to good people, it's a really, really nice thing to witness because we see good things happening to awful people all the time.
I know. And it's also
just
like
so infuriating.
knowing Murray and like seeing him be adorable and charming for these interviews, like half the time when you're watching celebrities do that, you're like, is it real? But like we know it's so real.
Right.
He might even be more charming in real life.
He is. Oh my God, we just love you so much.
Who were you most like while you were in Hawaii from the White Lotus cast? Jennifer Coolidge?
Well, yes. No, actually, the hotel workers.
Right.
No, once you see White Lotus, then you're hyper conscious of how you're behaving in a hotel or in a restaurant. And, you know, also, as a lifelong restaurant worker, it's hard to shake that even when you're on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
But we did. One of the more interesting perspectives that I got while I was on vacation was we were talking to some natives, people that grew up there, and they were like, I didn't really like White Lotus. And I was like,
Interesting.
why? And they're like, because why do they have to make the local boy the villain? And it was exactly how I reacted to Ryan
Right.
Murphy's Provincetown show, where I was like, why do they have to make the year-rounder some crackhead eating babies out of a dumpster? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like when they're doing a show about where you live, it's you really see it from a different perspective.
Well, most of the time when people are making shows about a specific place, they're obviously viewing it from an outsider's perspective.
Right.
And no one's going to have an insider perspective like that.
Right.
So,
For as good as the show was, I never thought about it from that side. Like, oh, they took the one local person,
Right.
excuse me, and made him the thief.
right.
Spoiler alert if you
Yeah.
haven't watched White Lotus yet. What's is going on? Oh, next weekend is Snowbound, right? It is sponsored by Mates Leather Weekend. We've got people from Leather Weekend coming on the show next weekend. And somebody who we've been trying to get on the show for a long time is coming next weekend.
Yeah, Andy.
Rebecca Orchant.
Oh, wait, and Rebecca.
Rebecca, who owns Pop and Dutch, our favorite sandwich shop in town, she just struck a book deal to write a food memoir.
I'm so excited.
She's one of my favorite writers on top of everything else.
And also, like, I often when people write about or create content around working in the restaurant industry, it doesn't always ring true to me, but I like fully feel like she gets it.
Totally.
Yeah.
In gay news, just for a second, Sha'Carri Richardson,
Is this gay news? Oh, right.
the phenomenal American black sprinter who was banned from competing in last summer's Olympics because she had tested positive for THC, which is not a performance-enhancing drug. Fast forward to these Olympics, where that 15-year-old Russian figure skater recently tested positive for an actually performance-enhancing drug and was allowed to compete.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the drug. It was some drug name, but it's it affects the way your body metabolizes oxygen. So when you're doing a sport and you're allowed to absorb more oxygen, that it enhances your performance. There's a lot of talk, but no actual answers about why Shikari was banned and this girl was not.
Shikari's out here looking for answers.
Yeah,
posting
which
all
I entirely
over
understand.
everywhere. She's like, please somebody explain to me the difference, because the only difference I see is that she's white and I'm black.
Mm-hmm. This is also a 15-year-old girl, so like, who are the powers that be that gave her this, encouraged her to take it? The story of them having it be, the story is that her grandfather, who she lives with, takes that medication for heart stuff. That's what Mark is pantomiming to me, and that she like ingested it secondhand or some bullshit like that. Like, come on.
Dumb, wrong, false, absurd.
She fell in the bathroom and the medicine cabinet exploded and it all went in her mouth.
If by the bathroom you mean on the rink 15 times last night,
Yeah.
she fell there too. I feel bad because she's
Wow.
only 15. She was supposed to win gold. What is this?
Cupcakes. Thanks, Adam.
OMG. To what do we owe the honor?
Just cuz, why not, right?
Oh, I'm gonna eat it during the video.
Oh yeah, that's probably smart.
But she's 15. It's obviously not all of the decisions were up to her. She was failed by all of the adults surrounding her. It was really interesting to watch the telecast last night with Tara Lipinski and Johnny Ware doing the commentary.
Are they not
for
the
it.
best commentators ever?
Ever.
I'm like, I want them to be commentators for every sport ever.
I wish. They know, they know figure skating
Right.
inside and out.
That's the best thing. They're fun, they're charming, and they're also so knowledgeable. And like, whenever I watch it, they like jump in the air, and I'm like, no matter what. And they're like, oh, well, they kind of did this a little weird, or they tell me that it was perfect, and I'm like, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Because if I can't even skate at all, let alone jump in the air, so anytime someone does it, I'm like, yes. And so I need that kind of critical eye.
But they were like, she's 15. It's not her fault. It's so sad that this is happening to her. They were like, she failed a dope test and she never should have been here in the first place.
Exactly.
They kept underscoring that, which I thought was very smart.
And I guess if she ended up medaling, which she did not, they were gonna not have the medal ceremony. And like, how is that fair to the other women who've been working their entire lives to get to this point,
Right.
end up on and then like have that taken from them because this person was given the opportunity even though she shouldn't? It just seemed kind of messed up.
And because her teammates and people that she practices with every day of her life won first and second, they didn't know how to feel. They looked really sad and dejected. So you're watching the person who just won the Olympics in figure skating, which is one of the premier events. Like, she's sitting backstage like this, like,
Why?
because she was sad for her friend and she felt like a lot about it was just not right.
There is a lot about it that's just not right, and then like it sucks because like this girl's 15, she like can't be at fault for taking this. There's
Right.
got to be something else, whether it's the ROC or something. But I mean, and also like I was reading a lot of the commentary from Adam Rippon, who was the gay figure skater from the last Olympics, who I think he got silver.
They won a medal in the team event. Who was at the bronze or silver?
But he was very upset about it. He was basically like, this is an instance, but like this is the ROC, the Russian Olympic Committee. I almost said Republican Olympic Committee. It might be this now at this point, but but he's like, this is what they do, and they have so much power that like that's why she ends up being able to perform.
Right.
And he's like, this is one girl who got caught.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bummer.
Cheaters.
Are you watching a lot of the Olympics?
As much as I could for being on vacation.
Yeah.
So like we would come home at night and catch whatever was on at the time. I did get to see, remember Chris Mazzer? He's like the really, really sexy luge guy.
No.
You know, 4 years ago he won a silver medal and he was like
Yeah.
the poster boy of the Winter Games. He came back to compete this time. He didn't do as well. And it's funny how like you learn somebody's name during the Olympics and then for 4 years you just completely forget about them.
Yeah.
And then when I saw him again, I was like, oh, hey, it's like this boy that you loved once but never saw again.
Right.
And I was like, oh. And when he went home, you need to look at his Instagram account.
Okay.
Because when he got home, his family were all waiting in the yard with this sign that said, "Welcome home, Daddy." And I like,
You sent me
I
that.
did send you that.
I was
That
like, what is
him.
this?
And I was like, I sent it to Tommy too. And Tommy was like, oh, I wish.
Yeah. It's like next time Peter goes away, you're gonna have that sign.
Oh my god.
big congratulations to Nathan Chen, who I'm so happy for the fact that he finally accomplished what he knew he could accomplish on the stage he wanted to accomplish it on. So
And
that's
he's
super
straight,
exciting.
right?
I don't know. I tried to look it up, and there was no information. I have no idea.
He reads as straight to me, but congratulations at winning in a gay sport. It's like when gay actors or straight actors play gay roles. He's like, what's his name and call me by your name.
Oh my god. Wait, the cannibal?
No! He didn't play, no, not, he's not a cannibal.
Timothy Schmammerman?
Super Twink?
Super Twink. Oh, Twink Jesus.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh my god. In other news, I think so CNN has been having a rough go of it when it comes to their anchors, and most recently in the news, Don Lemon has a assault case against him.
Who did he assault?
So the story goes that he was at I want to say a bar in the Hamptons, and I couldn't tell if it was a worker or not, but this man offered to, recognized him, offered to buy him a drink, and then turned it down, but then apparently later in the night, allegedly, that he came up to him, stuck his hand in the front of his face, and rubbed his upper lip and said, "Do you like pussy or dick?"
What? Don Lemon would not do that. 5
But in this guy's social media and in that he's the Trump reporter, he's been very critical of CNN, very vocal and very critical of CNN in the past on his social media. So not saying that I'm not believing him or anything, but they're kind of being like, this might be an attack at CNN or at Don Lemon because of that.
So somebody who hates CNN offered to buy Don Lemon a drink.
Exactly.
Right. So it wasn't even like a sincere, I like your work, I like you. Smells fishy.
Yeah. And also
Slip in the finger.
and not to not believe victims or anything like that. Never mind, I'm not even gonna say it. Anyway. Did you see Britney Spears might speak before Congress?
Really?
She got invited to speak before Congress about her conservatorship experience and talk about it's hard because you can't speak in that capacity when you're in a conservatorship. So it's so rare that you hear of an inside perspective of someone who's been held in a conservatorship. So I think she was offered. She hasn't said that she's gonna do it. She was offered in early December. She just posted about it on her Instagram, the letter, and she said that she wasn't in a place to talk about it then, but she's like, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it feels so great to be acknowledged by these people saying that we are aware of your experience and we know that it wasn't great and we want to hear from you, but I'm not sure that it's actually going to happen.
I mean, as much as we're all on Rihanna about hey, where's the new album? Britney, get
I'm
in
not.
the studio.
No, Britney should do whatever the hell she wants. And if
studio.
that's venti frappuccinos every day and dancing naked in her kitchen, filming it and putting it on Instagram, then that's what she should do.
I just think that it would be very therapeutic for her if she committed all of these feelings to a track.
Right, but at the same time, she's been forced to do that for the last 10 years, so if it's not something she wants to do, then she should.
Make the one that you want. Oops, they locked me in the bathroom again. That's
Oh
that's
my
a
God.
hit single. Do it, Brit.
Do you want to do a birthday
I
call?
want to see the moves. Yes, we do have to do a birthday
Yeah,
call.
let's do it.
So this is something that we try to do as often as we can. This is a person who, I am so sad to say, was on the show while I was gone. You got a couple of my favorite people on the show while I was out of
I
town,
know.
and I'm very mad about it. Oh, yeah, there was when there wasn't a guest host, right? When you were talking to this person.
Yeah.
No, where was I then?
New York.
Oh, yeah. Assist, what does that
I don't know what
mean?
that means.
It's awfully early. This yet. But Mark, you're gonna want to sing into this one. Oh, we're gonna leave her a message.
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
We're not singing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. We love you.
Yeah. It's Jen White's birthday. Yeah, she's the owner of Flotsam and Jetsam Goods, one of our favorite candle makers.
Go online, buy some candles. I miss Jen. She was like the town mom when she lived in town. She moved from all of us.
Understandable.
But I love you so much, Jennifer White. Happy birthday.
I forgot I had a gift for you.
You
It's been
do?
sitting here, yeah. So in this cool store in Palm Springs on Palm Canyon. It's called Trevor Wayne Pop Art. You can check everything he does out at trevorwayne.com. All this and for
Sounds heavy.
it's not.
It made a noise when you hit the table.
It's hard. It's a hard object. What do you think it is? Just don't.
Piggy as Ursula.
Yeah.
So
Of course. Bob loves Ursula. And I didn't know that you love Miss Piggy, but like I feel like you probably love Miss Piggy.
I love all of these like subversive female characters.
Right, exactly.
That book that I'm still reading, that I started reading in the summertime.
Oh, jeez.
It's just, you know how hard it is to finish a book anymore?
With TikTok and Instagram.
If you ever got a smartphone, it's just harder to finish a book.
What book was it?
Guy Branum's memoir, My
Oh.
Life as a Goddess. He's a stand-up comedian and a comedy writer. I think he used to write for Mindy Kaling's show. I just got to a chapter where he's talking about, like, if anybody ever asks me who my favorite Disney princess is, I'll lie and I'll say Ariel. And I'll say that it's because my real favorite Disney princess is the Sea Witch. And then he goes into, like, why he loves Ursula
I
so
love
much.
that. Yeah.
You need to read this book when I'm done with it.
I remember
which will be 3
I
years
remember a
from
Tumblr post of all like Disney characters, and because it was like a Barbie thing, they made Ursula Barbie. But it
princess in the So the first week of our vacation, well, the second week of it, the first week was spent in Palm Springs, and thanks again to our dear friend Bob Lynn, who hosted us in Palm Springs.
Play the video.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to tell that story. This is our first week on the Big Island with our friends. First couple nights we stayed on there, so part of the video with Peter sitting on day one of the trip, sitting at their pool, and I was like, this is what day one of a vacation should be. So, take it away.
turtle?
No.
Did you end with a dead turtle?
No animals were harmed in the making of that video. That turtle was alive and well. I
was
walked
taking a nap.
by it and it opened its eye and was like, and all I could think was, I
like
aspire to be this unbothered at all points of my life. Nothing was going to bother that turtle. He was sleeping. The water was lapping up. Didn't matter.
He's like, ugh, another white tourist.
Oh, wow. We do want to say, we know that we're having a little bit of technical difficulty this morning. Please bear with us.
Yeah, it's stormy out. It was windy last night. But anyway.
Please welcome to our show.
Yeah.
Introduce
We have
them.
Stephan Hengst and also Trevor Pittinger out from behind the
guys.
camera.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see
It's
you.
really
Thanks
nice
for coming
to
in.
meet you.
Thanks for letting me
Yes.
come in front today.
Yeah. Is that a beer? Are you drinking a beer?
I kombucha, but
okay.
same vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Got to support.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Hey, we appreciate it. Thanks for having us here. Trevor and I have spent the whole week beating Commercial Street, talking to business owners
I
and
know.
everyone up and down the street, and
He hasn't texted me back in a week.
oh, he's been very busy.
I think it's been more like 3 weeks. It's been busy 3 weeks.
Right. So congratulations on both your new postings at the Provincetown Business Guild.
Thank you.
It's clear that you're kind of hitting the ground running.
We are. You know, we had some great meetings this week. We sat with Alex Morse, with Julian Sear, with many of the different venues that we host events at in town. Lots of different producers, and it's coming from the Hudson Valley of New York, where has been home for the last 20 years. I've been a visitor to P-Town for just as long. So for 2 decades, we've been coming here. My husband's off on the sidelines there, hanging out, watching today. But we've been coming to town, and town has afforded so much to us over the years. We've met so many amazing people here. This job is a great way for me to be able to give back. So super excited then to have someone like Trevor joining our team too, who has such a network and experience in event production. It's been really great as we've been going around town, and people are really open and receptive and interested in being involved. And I know I'm that guy from out of town, but I spent a lot of time here, so I've got a lot of friends on the ground. But it definitely helps having Trevor's support with his network and all of his experiences here too. So it's been a great first official 2 weeks, technically.
Yeah, it's been so wonderful. Stephen's incredible. I'm so excited he has a lot of connections in town already, but I'm so excited to introduce him to everyone else he doesn't know. And then something else I've realized through starting this role is that my knowledge and network and the connections that I'll get to make with other people in the community that I haven't already gotten a chance to touch base with already, I'm so excited about that. So it's been a wonderful week getting to meet new people that I haven't had the opportunity to meet through the brewery and talk to them about some of the ideas that we have for the next season.
That's awesome.
And if there's anyone we haven't met yet, you can come by the brewery tonight, even though the brewery isn't open officially. We'll be here from 4 to 6. Trevor and I will be hanging out,
And we'll
doing a
sneak
little
you a
meet and
beer.
greet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
nice.
beer, so everyone's welcome to come in, say hello, and we're looking to meet as many folks as we can this week.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
How many members of the PBG are there?
You have 250-ish or so. One of the things we're going to be working on in the next few weeks is launching a membership drive. As we head into summer, we've got a lot of queer travelers that are looking to come to town, and they want to have new experiences here. Everyone's been pent up for 2 years, and we know there's a lot of people that postpone their plans, change their plans. So, we're really excited to welcome everyone in the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, the plus back to town, and make sure that everyone has a great summer.
I love that.
And in case you guys missed our Provincetown Business Guild episode with Bob Sanborn, who is the outgoing executive director, the mission of the PBG is?
Our mission is to work with our members to attract LGBTQ plus travelers to town, support our businesses, bring people into town, spend money, and grow the Provincetown economy. Overall, we want to help keep Provincetown gay and ensure that it will always be that way. And everyone has lots of ideas as whether it's LGBTQ plus, gay, queer. We recognize that our audience and our appeal is very broad. And you're going to be seeing the PBG using queer in a more inclusive manner in this coming year. So we recognize that there's a lot of different folks who want to come to P-Town, and we want to support all of our members, all the businesses, the P-Town community, and to do so, we are going to expand on existing experiences, we're going to be creating new experiences, and we're hoping to really round things out in a way that the PBG hasn't always been involved with. We're looking to introduce the idea of 2 5Ks that we're working on, hopefully one for Pride and one for Carnival. And we've been having a lot of the meetings right now this week to lay the groundwork to do all of that. And of course, everyone wants to know, is a parade coming back for Carnival?
Right.
We are working on that. We are working on that. The conversations have all been going in the right direction this week. So Trevor's got lots of permit applications to
through.
complete.
Yeah.
The joys of town.
Well, we had a great convo with Alex Morse this
Yep.
week, and
Great.
he's been wildly supportive, as has everyone that we've spoken with, And we talked to him about all the communities that we're trying to strengthen our relationship with. Women, queer POC community, the sober community, the community that comes during Pride that's 18 to 21. It's in the planning of our events for this year. We're trying to find new ways to access those communities and make sure that they have space to come into P-Town. Even those that don't have the money to be here in high season, we're going to work on producing events in the shoulder seasons to make sure that there's a moment for them to afford to come and be a part of our community and share in what we have here.
I love that.
It's a lot of complicated moving pieces. We are coming in February, and so the ball is already running.
Yeah.
And
people think like, oh, it's February, there's so much time. It's like, no.
yeah, no, it's not. And, I'm sure everyone's seen the printed guides that we produce. We actually just announced a call for artists. So anyone who lives here in P-Town that's interested in being involved, we have a call where we're looking for art for our Big Queer Summer Guide. And we're calling it our Big Queer Summer Guide for LGBTQ plus travel to Provincetown. And we are very excited to change the tone of that call a little bit. It is not a contest, it's a call for creative sketches. So it doesn't need to be a complete design. It doesn't need to be something that's envisioned in its entirety. We're asking for people to submit by March 9th, I believe.
Yeah.
March 9th, concept designs, and then we will work with our board to hire one individual that will complete the piece. There's a $500 honorarium for it. We'll put a spread in the guide featuring the artists and talking about their work and their background.
Cool.
So, we're really trying to get more people involved to continue to be able to give back to the queer community here.
Awesome. That's really exciting.
Have you guys found a place to live yet?
No, I know it's the conversation everyone talks about. We've seen 3 Craigslist scams and 1 bait and switch this week.
Only 3?
Yes. So I know this isn't news for folks, but we're looking for an apartment in Provincetown. So it'll be my husband and I and 2 very lovely cats who don't pee on things.
Great.
So
We love
if anyone
those
has any
cats.
leads, feel free to reach out to Stephan@ptown.org
Great.
Stephen with an A.
with an A, Stephan. I know everyone wants to know how it's pronounced.
I was going to call you Stephan.
Oh, and that's okay too. It's all good.
Whatever.
But I was born overseas, and so I have a European spelling, but generally a American pronunciation.
So you created the organization Big Gay Hudson Valley?
Yes.
And it's kind of a way in which the Hudson Valley has launched its queer identity.
Yes, my husband Patrick and I realized 15 years ago while we were living in Poughkeepsie, New York, that there was a huge queer community there. People who lived there were not excited about the place they lived. And they felt like there wasn't enough happening and it was always the same thing. And we realized that by first sharing information about things that our friends were doing, it got them more involved. And then we realized, maybe we should produce events to bring people together. So we started taking over historic estates and art museums and places that weren't always, traditional queer watering holes. An event didn't always have to be in a bar. And we were able to broaden the reach of those that participated. And over the years, in addition to introducing individuals to new places in the Hudson Valley that they didn't necessarily know were welcoming, we also created a lot of new experiences. We did one called Out on the Farm for the last 10 years, and that is a family-friendly farm festival.
Cute.
And hay rides and a hard cider and beer out of trailers on the side of the road and a pizza truck. But the last one we had over 500 people show up to, and it was a free event. And one of the things that Trevor and I are talking about is how do we create more opportunities for engagement with the PBG that aren't always a $100 ticket, because we have to raise funds to be able to pay for the work that the PBG does, pay for our salaries, but also advertising, promotion, printing. There's a lot of costs, event production, a lot of costs that come along with those things. But we want to be able to ensure that, just as we had done in the Hudson Valley, that we're able to create events at all different levels so that more people can participate. We're looking at introducing some new levels of membership that will broaden the individual's ability to join the PBG and show their support. And we're looking to diversify the overall experiences we create. If anyone's been to the Hudson Valley, you may have been to Hung with Care, which is the queer holiday burlesque spectacular that we've produced for the last 12 years.
Aptly named.
So, we're hoping to bring that to Provincetown for Holly Folly this year.
Cute.
So there's a number of different things that we've pioneered there that we're going to be sharing here, and they'll still be happening there too. So, we've got lots of friends on the ground that are going to help support those initiatives there, because we wanted to make sure we didn't pull up stakes in the Hudson Valley.
Right.
But we realized that so much of what I learned there we can apply here.
Totally.
And continue to enrich the Provincetown experience.
And so traditionally, the first big PBG event of the summer season is Pride, right?
That is correct.
And there's like 3 or 4 years, right?
This is the 5th anniversary.
Fifth anniversary of it.
So Pride is June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And for this year, we're introducing a new queer comedy showcase on Saturday night at Town Hall. So that's going to be something new for Pride. We are hopefully going to be making a 5K happen on Pride. We're in the process of the permitting process now. And we are continuing to work with friends and partners at the Boat Slip, the Crown, everywhere to continue to offer some new parties, some new opportunities for engagement.
I think something that we've realized about Pride over the past few years, obviously it's a newer event, is that oftentimes the folks that come are new to the P-Town experience. They're oftentimes a little bit more green. They don't know to come for Bear Week or Carnival. They just know that they need to make a pilgrimage to Gay Mecca and see what it's like. So we want to make sure that we're providing historical moments, we're providing educational moments. We're going to do some taproom talks, and as we said before, make sure that those folks that are under 21 that can't access a bar scene have a full spectrum party on the beach where they can barbecue and kind of be around everyone who loves P-Town, or learn about the genesis of the Bi flag in the tap room. So we're really excited about adding those elements in for Pride this year.
I loved Pride because one thing I noticed about it, and I was kind of one of those people which you hear a lot is like, why does Provincetown need a Pride? But then having been here for a few of them, first of all, they're incredible events, they're so much fun, but also it attracted a very much younger and more diverse crowd than I had ever seen in Provincetown. And I feel like living here, you're like, why do we need a Pride? But I feel like it's so many people, especially these younger people, don't know when they're supposed to come to P-Town because you feel like there's so many like, oh, should I come for Bear Week or Circuit Week or this or that? But it's like Pride is for everyone, and I feel like it's a way in which you're like, oh, it's Pride, of course I can be there. So it's like a super welcoming weekend for people who haven't experienced Provincetown, like you said.
Absolutely.
And one of the things we're hoping to do with many of our events is also to incorporate some history. And there is so much queer history here in Provincetown that, when you have time and you're not going to a party or going to the beach, you have a chance to explore a little bit. And we are working with the Gilbert Baker Foundation to bring the original design of the rainbow flag here as part of a special exhibit that the organization is creating. If you don't know, Gilbert was essentially the gay Betsy Ross. He created the original rainbow flag.
I think the Queen Vic has one.
Oh, the
Queen
big
Vic.
ones?
One of the original ones.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Because it still has the 2 colors that they got rid of.
Yeah, there was a teal and a pink.
Yeah.
Took pink off.
I know.
I know.
And pink was sex, right?
I don't remember which one was which, but the original rainbow flag, the colors represented themes.
Right.
Within the community. And so, one of the things that the Gilbert Baker Foundation talks about is as the flag has developed and evolved over time, all of our communities that make up the community that makes Provincetown so amazing, everyone has wanted more inclusion, which we can all understand. As individuals, we all want that. And as the flag has evolved and new flags have been created, this traveling exhibit that we're hopefully going to be producing at Town Hall, we're still working on the site for it, but we're really excited about bringing that to Provincetown to share some more history of the evolution of the flag. Awesome. And along with that, we'll be bringing speakers from the organization to talk about specific flags, how they were conceptualized, how they were created, what they represent. And I think it's going to be a really nice offering to round out the Pride experience and being able to give everyone a little more context.
I love that.
So, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a lot of opportunities to tell the Provincetown story. And one of the things that we're finding as we talk to folks, there's a lot of moments of history and experiences here that maybe the general public doesn't always have access to. We were over at Provincetown Magazine the other day going through their files and talking to Rick over there about how he's seen Provincetown evolve. They were founded in 1977. The PBG was founded in 1978. And at that time, in 1977 and 1978, there was a lot of conversation about how tacky Provincetown had become. And in our files, we found press clips. I know Trevor has one of them over here, where you want to read that paragraph?
So this is taking on tackiness on the Cape. In front of Town Hall, a cartoonist sells drawings of the actress Joan Collins. Cabarets and nightclubs along the main thoroughfare, Commercial Street, advertise performances by transvestites. No denying it's tacky, said Candace Collins, executive secretary.
Candace Collins.
Canceled.
Tackiness is something we want to combat.
I'm here for the tackiness.
We're having her on.
I'm like, that sounds like a fun.
And so were the folks who started the PBG. They saw things like this coming out, and they recognized, okay, this town isn't being represented to the queer community at large, and we need to start speaking to that community because that's what's special about this place, and that's who's coming here to spend their dollars as well.
On transvestite cabaret shows.
Yes.
And so the 8 innkeepers got together, and they were the first PBG members, and they generated the flagship event, Carnival, that kind of has become such a monolithic moment for what this space is and what it means.
Totally.
I mean, and this press clip is from the early 80s, and that ran in the Associated Press. So that was distributed nationwide. And so just as the PBG's mission has always been to ensure that Provincetown remains and always will be a safe place for the LGBTQ plus community, we recognize that we can't take this for granted. We need to continue to engage in dynamic ways, continue to promote Provincetown, and continue to talk about all the amazing things that have happened here, that are happening here, and that will happen here in the future. And that's critical to our success.
I love that.
I am mad at her.
She's probably not alive.
Yes, she is alive. That's like that comedian's tweet that just didn't age well. Candace Collins, we are coming for you.
Yikes.
Anyhow, I want to talk about this impulse that some people, you obviously have it, to take your happy place and make a job out of it, because it tends to kind of ruin it for a lot of people.
Buckle up. I'm just kidding.
I believe me, you're not the first person to caution me to that.
Right.
So what is it about you that made you you're diving headfirst into, I don't want to call it a snake pit, but we've used that phrase a lot on this show.
Like I said, I'd been traveling here for 20 years. I first came, more than 20 years now. I first came here when I was probably 19 or 20 for Bear Week. And at that time, I had a group of older men who were friends who were like, hey, we've rented a house. And my 19, 20-year-old group of friends, they were like, come along. And at that point, you were like, free vacation in Provincetown? I just have to cook once or 2 nights a week? Yeah. Okay, great, let's do it. And we were all in culinary school at the time. So, I come from a hospitality background. And I used to do all the marketing and communications for the Culinary Institute of America, where I also graduated from. But that's a whole other story. But we had this group of friends that we traveled here with for years. And, when you were 19, 20, 21, 22, your experiences are party, party, party. And then all of a sudden you grow into your 30s and your 40s, and
it's still party, party, party.
It's still party, party, and but you're also looking for other experiences.
Right.
And so my husband and I have been coming here for 17 years, And when the opportunity during the pandemic came to spend a little more time working remote and being in different places, we took last September and came out here for a week. And everyone talks about how amazing September is, and we had never stayed here in September. And while we were here, we fell in love with being here that time of year. And as we were walking around town, we kept saying, wouldn't it be great if we could spend more time in Provincetown in the future? And it was something that we wanted to do, we had focused on. And working in the Hudson Valley in the capacity that I have with Big Gay Hudson Valley for the last 15 years, I really enjoy community building. And I've had lots of friends in town who I said, hey, I'm applying for this job, I've accepted this job. They're all like, congratulations, you're gonna love it, hold on to your hat, because you're gonna encounter everything.
Right.
And in the last 3 weeks, we've already encountered a lot of things. So we're, so it's, I think at the end of the day, I know at the end of the day, people that are here want to be here. We want to grow this community. We want to give back to this community. We are part of this community. And a lot of the reason why we have such intense discussions is because we're also passionate about this place that we love. And our job as the PBG is to continue to support everyone in how passionate they are about this place that means so much to them, in a way that the town can continue to benefit and grow and develop and become the next generation of Provincetown. There's a lot of different factors at play, whether it be housing, salaries, don't even talk about climate change. There's a lot of things that the town has to think about. And as our community continues to diversify, we want to be as inclusive as the queer community is broadly. And that's a lot of what Trevor and I have spent a lot of the last 3 weeks talking about is, the PBG is an amazing organization. How can we continue to help the organization grow? And we know that we're going to have lots of discussions that are going to be difficult at times. And there's lots of differing opinions. And, but again, by working together, by having these listening weeks where we're going around and meeting with so many business owners and town representatives, we've had meetings with the VSB and the select board, and we're acquiring feedback, and we're listening and using that to shape what it is that we do, and that's important. So again, if anyone wants to share thoughts with us, has ideas about what they think the PBG should be doing, or things that maybe we should be doing differently, we're open to them. So I'll say Stephan at ptown.org, Trevor at ptown.org, or again, just come by tonight from 4 to 6. We'll be here at the Provincetown Brewing Company, and we're happy to have a beer with you and talk about your ideas.
Perfect. I love that. Well, thanks so much for coming in today.
Awesome, gentlemen. Thank you.
Welcome to
Appreciate
town,
it.
hopefully.
Thank you. I know. As soon as I find an apartment, so keep that in the back of your ears too. If you know of any apartments, feel free to ping me. But guys, thank you. We look forward to working together.
Trevor, thanks for coming up from behind the camera.
Yeah,
of course.
Walking the 10 feet from over there.
It was really difficult.
I hear ya. I hear ya. Thank you all for watching. Welcome back, Bob. It was so nice to have you back with me.
It's nice to be home. Thank you to all of our sponsors, the Be Well Cannabis Dispensary here in town, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop at 3 Bradford Street, Project Valor Sailing.org. I almost had it perfectly. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. The Red Inn, Cafe Heaven.
Yeah,
I think
and all
we
of
got
you.
it. And all of you. Thank you guys so much for waking up in Provincetown.
Yeah, wherever you are. We'll see you next week.